Premier League Boxing Day. It's a day celebrated around the world, and we associate Boxing Day with the holidays because the matches taking place around the festive season, it dates back to 1888. It was seen as a time to play as much soccer as possible while workers were off on the 25th and 26th of December. And there used to be a full slate of matches actually played on Christmas Day, but it slowly started going away. The last English League match on the 25th was back in 1965. Now games are just played on the 26th, which means one day full of games that have delivered magical moments. This year, though, it'll be different. There's only one Premier League match on Boxing Day. Newcastle taking on Man United. But don't worry too much because there will be a full schedule returning next year on Boxing Day. Until then, we will keep dreaming about the memorable Boxing Day moments over the years, like in 2007 when we saw 3 red cards and 8 goals between Chelsea and Aston Villa. And in 2008, when instead of going to the locker room for a halftime team talk, Hull City manager Phil Brown sat his team down on the pitch to talk instead. And in 2012, Javier Chicharito Hernandez scored a 90th minute winner for Manchester United. Years later, in 2015, it was a different story back then. Versus now between Arsenal and Southampton. Southampton took down Arsenal. And in 2018, it came down to the wire between Leicester City and Manchester City. Leicester City would come out on top with a late Ricardo Pereira winner for them. Now, those are some very memorable Boxing Day moments, but are there any, Tom or Stefano, any on the list that you think about that weren't on the list actually?
For me, and this is all personal because of whatever fan of the team you are is what you're going to care about. In 2019, when Liverpool beat Leicester City 4-0, we were really starting to dream, is this going to be the first Premier League title? And that was an emphatic win. You look back at that lineup, it just makes me smile. The front three of Firmino, Mane, and Salah, Jordan Henderson, Gini Wijnaldum. Just what a team that was, what an era that was, and they would win their first Premier League title. And we were really dreaming on that day.
Yeah, that was a big one.
That was COVID happened right afterwards.
So that was the 1920 season, and in early 20 is when the world shut down.
Wow.
So Liverpool's first Premier League title ever comes at a closed-door game with no fans and no parade and no anything, so that hurt. But those moments when you were marching towards the title, when fans were in the stadium, just beautiful.
Yeah. One of the games that we put up there, Manchester United against Newcastle, the Chicharito winner, that one sticks out to me just because I had just moved to Houston, Texas. I had a bunch of friends who are from the UK. Watching that game, my first time watching a game with these guys, and we were watching this at a bar, celebrating, and all of a sudden Boxing Day happens. It's an incredible game. It's epic. The celebrations continued, and it was really my first experience watching game with guys from the UK on Boxing Day. So I remember that one, and it was 7 goals, 7 different goal scorers, and Chicharito, the Mexican. I was living in Houston, obviously a big Mexican influence.
Amazing.
Place was absolutely bonkers. Let's just, needless to say, it was a long night that night, a long night of celebrating with the Manchester United fans for me.
Well, this year, Boxing Day is going to look a little bit different. Listen, EFL, there's full slate of games, all right?
Not only that, there's a Golazo show.
Hey, that's right, Nico. The first Golazo show for EFL on Boxing Day?
That I've done, yes.
That you've done.
We've done a Golazo show for EFL on the final match day. Pretty epic.
Oh, yeah?
For like the entire football league system.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, Boxing Day is going to look good. But over in Premier League, only one game, and they say it's due to the expansion of European club competition. So the only matchup we will be seeing is 7th place Manchester United take on 11th place Newcastle. Let's talk, Nick.
Good game, though.
It'll be good, so we're hoping that we get a memorable moment from here.
And there is a full slate of games the following day after Boxing Day in the Premier League. So we will have all the action, but only one game on actual Boxing Day in the Premier League. So.
Yeah. Nick Woltemade, did you see, we've all been calling Woltemade, but did you see over the weekend now he's Peter Crouch's son, is what they're saying? Did you see the interview that they did together?
And then he was joking like, oh, this is my son, I'm very happy. And then Woltemade was like, when I was in Germany, they just called me Crouchy because I was so tall.
I loved that interview. What he's been able to do with Newcastle United, Nico, it's been, 7 goals in the Prem and then a couple more in Champions League for him. What do you make of what he's been able to do with Newcastle so far this season?
It's been great. It's been very refreshing because I feel like every time that there's somebody that comes from the Bundesliga or somewhere else and doesn't perform, it's like, oh, why are we getting players in the Premier League from the Bundesliga if they never deliver? Like Timo Werner was like a perfect example. And then we're suddenly talking about the German pipeline. It doesn't work.
Right.
Then It's like every case is individual in its own, and Nick Woltemade has done well. I feel like he can do even better, though.
That's fair. And he's also fit in perfectly, I think. Obviously, Isak and his class that he showed for Newcastle United was on another level, but I do think that he kind of fits in perfectly to the way that they want to play, the way that they're set up. And look, even though, there's Liverpool fandom here, I'm happy for that fan base that they got a player after what they went through with Isak, which, look, no fan of any team wants to see that happen. The way it all went down to was not pretty. So I am happy that they got probably, would you say, of all the strikers that have come in from other leagues, been the best one so far up to this point in the Premier League.
Do you consider Ekitike a striker?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Ekitike is the best.
Okay, fair.
And then probably Woltemade.
Yeah, 1A, 1B. I think it's been fairly close, but yeah, I think it's fantastic what he's been able to provide.
I don't know, but I think Ekitike has some distance on Woltemade.
Okay.
Like, Ekitike is the best player for Liverpool this season with Dominic Szoboszlai.
Yeah.
Or maybe Dominic Szoboszlai is the best player for Liverpool with Ekitike.
Woltemade, you had to worry that it was an overpay. It was a huge, huge fee for a player who I think he had one really good season in Germany, and that was really it. He was a late bloomer. He changed clubs because he either got released from his boyhood club, and then he wasn't like this, oh my God, from 15 years old, you need to watch this guy. This guy's going to make it. It wasn't somebody who had 3 really strong seasons before he turns 23 in the Bundesliga.
Right.
And it seemed a little panicky from the outside of, we need to spend the money on somebody.
It kind of was panicky.
So I think that's even more impressive that he came in and settled so quickly in a move where if he got off to a slow start, that would have been the entire narrative. That would have been the questions. That would have been everything. Him getting off to what he's done so far is extraordinarily important given the context. It's not an easy spot for this player to come into. It was a team a little bit in transition with Isak hanging over his head. So on top of the technical ability and physical ability he has, the mental ability here, I think, deserves a little bit of credit.
And also, like, the obligation to perform immediately, right?
Yes.
Because you got Johan Visa, he was out injured, so it's like, okay, you're the guy, score our goals, especially in a position where we had a guy who's got a certain quota of goals that was, the team almost depended on that. So he transitioned in well, he settled in, got goals. I think he can be even more consistent.
Agreed.
And how important is the physical component of it? He's a big dude. And I just feel like that's such an advantage in the Prem when you're already big and don't have to, like, get adjusted to the physicality of the Prem. I like it.
I agree. And I was going to check like his underlying stats to talk more about that impact. And it's not just the goals, because I think he does much more than goals. Among center forwards in the Premier League, he's in the 34th percentile in aerials won. That's bottom half. That's bottom third. The 6'7" striker, who we know is aerially dominant.
Yeah.
There are many more center forwards in this league to just show
6'7"?
just show the physicality.
Yesterday too.
2 days in a row, Nico. To just show the physicality of this league. It's not just like Woltemade. Again, he's this towering figure who's so great in the air, but he's not even near the top half in aerials won per game. Obviously, that goes down to play styles and everything else, but I thought I was expecting to come out here and say 95th percentile or something like that, and it's just not.
Yeah, that's interesting. He had 19 goals in 36 games with Stuttgart over a season and a couple of games this season before he went to Newcastle. 9 goals in 23 games so far this season. So he's kind of on that same pace that he was for Stuttgart, which I think
a lot of money to pay for one really good season or a season change.
How old is he?
23.
Yep.
Also, like, the price tags, we inevitably compare performance to price tag because right? But just given the way that the market works and Newcastle having to buy high because everybody knew that they were getting the Isak money, I feel like we are going to do that inevitably, but what if we judge players also based off just how they perform, period, and then compare it to the price tag, and then ask ourselves, was it worth that type of money? But, like, if you just look at Woltemade coming from Stuttgart to Newcastle without forgetting about the price tag for just 1 second, you have to say it's been great. It's been right, sensational. Like another one, forget the price tag. Gyökeres coming from Sporting to Arsenal. Questionable because of the performances at Arsenal, because he was so good at Sporting. Then you add the price tag and say, wow.
Right.
Like, that's when the desperation, the pressure kicks in, the scrutiny. But Woltemade he hasn't lost his step. Mm-hmm. Has he become a better striker? I don't know, because he was actually really good at Stuttgart. But how does he take the next step in his career? That's why I feel like there is something more to unlock from Woltemade.
I think Newcastle is the perfect spot for him, because both the club and the player can grow together, and he's very good for them right now. And for their aspirations that are going to continue to be top of the league, to really crash the party on a consistent basis with the traditional top 4, top 6, Woltemade is going to be a player who will grow with them while being really good right now. I think it's a perfect fit between player and club.
Looking at the next step for Manchester United, though, coming into this game, we know Bruno Fernandes is out with the injury that he suffered in their last game. Mainoo has lots of players that are out due to AFCON. So how do you see them, Stefano, lining up in this matchup against this Newcastle side?
It's not going to be easy. I think without Bruno, I think that alone is really the biggest issue here, because they have some like-for-like replacements for Amad Diallo, for Brian Mbeumo, that at least can be serviceable. But Bruno, I mean, we talked about it yesterday. He has
16 days total miss.
Yeah, 3 games total that he's missed in his 5 years with Manchester United. And he really does. He dictates play for this team, what they do going forward, what they do at the back, what they do in the center of the park. He does so much. He is responsible for 23% of the chances created for Manchester United, this one player alone. So it will be complicated. And you look at this lineup that we have here, Casemiro back from suspension, that's obviously a positive. But what's the one player that we continue to talk about that's not in that starting 11? Kobbie Mainoo. If he can't get in the team with all of these players out, is he ever going to get into the team? I don't know. And his availability has been an issue for them, without a doubt. And I think that's something that we need to keep looking at. But it's going to be very tough to put a strong starting 11 out without Bruno.
A tough moment for Kobbie Mainoo to be injured for this game, because, like you said, this would be the time for him to be playing. And I hope that if Bruno is indeed out for several weeks, they still have not determined a timetable, is the latest reporting, is the latest answers from Ruben Amorim. Hopefully, Mainoo is able to get a run in the team, because I think we know that Ugarte is not quite the level. Casemiro is not a long-term solution. He might leave in the winter. He might leave in the summer. Like, Kobbie Mainoo has a chance to be a steady presence for this team if he can earn it, if Amorim gives him the chance to earn it. And when he should be able to have the chance, because of injury and because of AFCON departures, he's unavailable, which is very, very unfortunate. I hope he will get a chance to have a run in the team, but you never know.
He preferred Lisandro Martinez in the midfield to Kobbie Mainoo. And I understand it was an injury, a knock. I don't know how much I buy that, but that's a whole different conversation. But if he's preferring Lisandro Martinez in the midfield over a Kobbie Mainoo, I don't see any chances for him to get into this team, Nico.
I was looking at the lineups, and I can't wait for Anthony Gordon to take on Lenny Yoro, and Lenny Yoro defends like that.
I'm not touching him.
Center back for Manchester United going into a duel, going.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, for a Manchester United side that gives so many opportunities to young players, Ruben Amorim came out recently.
Sorry, I thought you said give so many opportunities to opposition. I was like, yeah.
Defending that way.
You know what? We'll leave it at that.
Thanks for watching this video from Morning Footy. For all news and insights regarding leagues around the world like EFL, Serie A, and all UEFA competitions, both men's and women's, don't forget to sign up for Paramount+.